Level 3 is when you have got metrics, analysis, action under control, right? And a lot of people think MAA is about just blindly creating reports like a robot. That's not the case. It's being able to think. Because if you can create the reports, if you can load up the ads and be able to do some basic tuning and do that stuff accurately and communicate with the other team members. And you know, the process of loading ads isn't just going into AdWords or going into Facebook or LinkedIn and just dumping the ads in and saying, ta-da, I'm done, right? And clocking in the time camp and saying that you did that, or posting in Basecamp. It's also the coordination that's necessary because maybe the client didn't give us the items in the right format that we needed. Maybe we're missing a video. Maybe in the course of looking at the campaign, you have some suggestions because you saw what worked last year. Or maybe you're a soccer fanatic and you know, we don't really know much about soccer, and you know some basic things that we could be doing because we don't understand how the teams work or who the best players are. Or maybe there's just like some kind of expertise that you have. When you have MAA, you're able to not only execute the campaigns, but you can adjust them and optimize them and prove that through the steps that you're taking, you are driving more conversions, more revenue, because you go from metrics to analysis to action. So you can solidly prepare the reports like you can usually at level 1. You can do the analysis, which is really an extension of level 2 to level 3. And if you can do this MAA multiple times on clients, not a fluke, but prove that you actually can sequence from metrics to the analysis, and from that analysis, therefore, here's the action. And because you took that action, it impacted these metrics, and you have more analyses, which are more hypotheses and things that you want to test, this creative versus that creative, this audience, different audience combination targets, right? And then you're able to show that you ran this experiment, and here's the results, and then you keep going through that. If you can do that multiple times, do it reliably inside Basecamp, show other people that you're following our process of MAA, that's level 3, and that is right before being a team lead. Level 3 is where people who haven't had to think before tend to struggle the most. We see a lot of people, they'll go through level 1, level 2, and then they'll get stuck not being able to hit level 3. Because it's not about how hard you work. It's not about, oh, I got too many projects going on. It's about being able to think and put aside different distractions to be able to figure out what actually do I need to do. Of all the different things that I need to do, which of the things do I need to tweak that, you know, maybe it could be the copy, maybe it's the pricing, maybe it's the targeting, right? You've got to play a little bit of Sherlock Holmes. And I find level 3 is the most interesting of all of the early levels prior to 6, right? Because that's when you actually feel like you have control, you actually start to understand what's going on, and you can feel like you're really adding value. And so 20 bucks an hour at level 3, at some point you'll realize if you're doing it well, you'll say, man, I made that client an extra few $1,000s. And that's great, because then you can move from level 3 to level 4 as a team lead.